Two things that are guaranteed in life are death and taxes. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 huge tax tips specifically related to cryptocurrency. Number 1, hire a tax accountant. This is by far the biggest tip I can give you right in the beginning. The reason why is the tax code is always changing, and let's be honest, with cryptocurrency changing a lot, Web3, NFTs, all these different things coming into play, especially with the IRS trying to figure out what is this whole crypto thing, and as a result of that, the terms are changing year to year. This is why I suggest hire a tax accountant. I mean, hey, even if you're not investing in cryptocurrency, it is well worth it to do so. Even for me, as a former accountant, someone who knows a lot about taxes, I still hire a tax accountant. I pay him $250 to do my taxes. Completely 100% worth it. Just trust me, there's a lot of tricky things when it comes to the tax code, especially given these specifics, and this is why I always suggest hire a tax accountant. Number 2, long capital gains versus short capital gains. This is a very important one to understand, especially when it comes to investing. Wording this super simply, if you invest in cryptocurrency and cash out or sell your earnings within a year, you will pay more in taxes than if you hold it for a year or more. Short-term capital gains versus less than a year, long-term capital gains versus more than a year. This does get kind of tricky though, because on one end, you may say, oh wow, well, I'm gonna hold for a while. I'm gonna hold for a couple years, and because you're holding for longer than a year, you're gonna spend less in taxes. As we all know, cryptocurrency is very volatile, especially if you're investing in sugar honey iced tea coins, right? And if you think about it, for a lot of sugar honey iced tea coins, they are all over the place. So this is something you do have to kind of weigh out. For example, let's say you invest 1K in a sugar honey iced tea coin and it goes up to 10K. At that point, you're like, wow, I 10x'd my money. Being honest, let's say this happened in 3 or 4 months. And yes, if you do cash out, you are going to incur a short-term capital gain when it comes to your taxes. You might be better off doing so rather than holding, and let's say after a year, and this happens a lot with sugar honey iced tea coins, let's say it tanks to then let's say only, I don't know, $1,500, although yeah, you're gonna spend less in taxes off that $500 profit, you're gonna have way more money in your pocket overall by spending a bit more money in taxes because you're cashing out at the right time. This is something I did want to mention. Of course, like I said, I'm a former accountant, but I'm not your accountant. This is something you do have to weigh out. Remember, cryptocurrency investing is super risky overall. Number 3, sending versus converting. Now, a lot of these tax tips I'm giving you apply to a lot of other areas of tax as well. This one, though, is ultra specific to cryptocurrency, especially for the way a lot of people invest in crypto. And that is this. If let's say you're sending money from one wallet to another, no issue. So for example, let's say you're on Coinbase, you have Ethereum in Coinbase, let's say you have 1 ETH, and you send that to your MetaMask wallet, no issue. You're sending the cryptocurrency from one wallet to another. However, if let's say you convert one cryptocurrency to another, you pay taxes on that. So for example, let's say you invest in Ethereum, and let's say you invest at $1,000, let's say it goes up to $6,000. So let's say within a year, you made $5,000 off Ethereum. And let's say you're like, you know what? I like Ethereum, but I want to invest in just classic Bitcoin. I just feel like Bitcoin's going to go up more. And let's say on Coinbase, for example, you convert. You sell your shares of Ethereum to then directly get Bitcoin. You're converting your Ethereum to Bitcoin. Even though in a sense, you didn't cash out, so to speak, directly to your bank account, because you sold your position in Ethereum to then buy a position in Bitcoin, you now have to pay taxes on that $5,000 profit. This is super important to understand because I know a lot of people who invest in crypto are constantly buying one, selling it, converting to another, doing all these different things. Make sure you keep track of this, like say in an Excel spreadsheet. A lot of apps will try to keep track of this as well, but this is super important to understand because I think for a lot of people, they think, well, if I put in, let's say $1,000 cash into the cryptocurrency market, I'm not taxed until I actually withdraw cash from whatever cryptocurrency I have. No. If let's say you take $1,000 cash, like I said, put it in Ethereum, you convert it to Bitcoin, you then convert it to this one, this one, this one. Any single time you sell that position in that cryptocurrency, or in a sense convert it from one coin to another, you are taxed on those gains. Number 4, record losses. This is something I'm surprised not many people know about. Like if I talk to most people and I say, oh yeah, if you make money in crypto, you're taxed on it. I think most people are like, oh yeah, I get it. If I make $5,000 investing in crypto, I get taxed on that 5K. However, remember this also goes the other way around though. So let's say you invest in crypto, you invest in, Ethereum, Bitcoin, or actually let's be more realistic. Let's say you invest in a sugar honey iced tea coin, you put in 5K and you lose all of it. It just tanks to the point where you get like 1 cent or something like that. And you're like, great, I just lost 5K. You can record that on your taxes as a loss. Number 5, save 30% of earnings. This is a huge kind of like tax 101 tip that when it comes to making money, when it comes to taxes, this is true for any independent contractor, anybody who owns their own business. If let's say you make money, take 30% of that, put it in a savings account. So for example, let's say you invest $1,000 in Bitcoin. Let's say your portfolio then goes to 10K. So you made $9,000. Take $3,000 of that, put that 3K in a savings account. Don't touch it. Don't touch it and wait till tax season. Now, being honest, this does depend upon your tax bracket. So there's a few different factors that come into play with this, which is why I suggest having a tax accountant. But you're way better off, like say putting that 3K away and only owing maybe $1,000 of it, so to speak, rather than the IRS coming after you saying, hey, you made $9,000 off Bitcoin, we want our 3K. You're like, wait, I have to owe money? Because for most people, when it comes to taxes, they're used to getting money back for most people. However, if let's say you make a lot of money in the cryptocurrency market, there may be a chance you'll owe money to the IRS, and this is something you do not want to be unprepared for. One thing I will say though, is this all comes down to when your money is realized. So what I mean is, let's say you invest 1K, and let's say in a given year, and it goes up to 10K. So now you've made 9K profit, but you've not cashed out yet. At that point, you're not taxed on it, right? You're still invested and you're still in the game, so to speak. So this only applies to once you cash out. So let's say you invest 1K, goes up to 10K, you made a 9K profit, and let's say you're holding. You're holding for that year, no big deal, you're still invested. However, let's say the next year you do cash out, you cash out that 9K. At that point, you are now taxed on the year that you cashed out. And now a bonus tip, and this is almost the reverse of the first thing I mentioned, do not use any tax software. Well, yes, there's a lot of programs out there like TurboTax that say, oh, use us, we're great. You just type everything in, it takes 2 seconds and boom, boom, boom. Don't do it. No, just trust me. The reason why is, as you can imagine, like anything, when it comes to having a real person, like a tax accountant, looking at everything over, they can find these specific details. In addition, as you can imagine as well, when it comes to the tax code, there are some gray areas. There are some kind of tricky areas. And what I find with TurboTax and a lot of other tax software is they'll usually take the safest road, so to speak. However, like I said, there are some gray areas. And by having a tax accountant, they can say, oh, you know what? Well, yeah, that's kind of a gray area, but because of this, and this, you can actually write off more. Or you can do this, or whatever. Trust me, you're going to have way more money in your pocket overall by having an actual tax accountant who knows the code, knows all the fine details, and can help you save more money.